Enginerdy Show. This is Mr. Pold.
I'm St. Jimmy.
DVD here.
Oh,
Dramatic
The
entrance.
dulcet sounds of the DVD.
our fake sponsor this week. Have you ever wanted to look older and
Yes, I have.
out of date,
Have you not? Kate?
like from the 80s?
Oh, I was going 90s.
Well, you should subscribe to Silver Mullets.
Is that a monthly subscription?
It
Or
is.
a
You
silver
get a
mullet?
new Silver Mullet every week. I don't know why you would want that.
Now with skullets.
Skullets. Oh, where you're bald on top.
Yes. For those of us that don't have hair.
Bald on top, party in the back.
That's right. Dance floor?
You have hair.
Oh, I do? Oh, I do.
A bit.
Toupee's looking very natural.
Don't you ever watch yourself on YouTube?
Sometimes.
My hair is getting quite long.
Is it? Are you sure it's not a wig?
I always make sure I have it queued up so someone walks up to ask me a question at work. I start immediately and maximize it so they can see that I'm on YouTube. Like, oh, you're a YouTube star. Of course I am. That's how I roll.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, I am.
I never watch myself on YouTube at work.
Me neither.
You should try it.
Sometimes I listen to our podcast at work
Oh,
on my phone.
Sometimes I have no choice. It just starts playing after something else I listen to.
Oh.
Off my Stitcher app.
Stitcher.
Stitcher. Matt Damon.
Randomness.
Pizza. I like pizza.
Steve.
Steve? Who's Steve?
That's what the guy in that movie called
Which movie?
Multiplicity
Is that where that I Like Pizza's from?
yes.
Oh.
I love pizza.
with Batman.
He's in a new movie coming out soon.
Batman?
Yeah. No, what's
Yeah,
his
it's called
bucket?
The Batman.
Why doesn't Keanu Reeves ever play Batman?
He's too skinny.
George Clooney.
I'm talking about the silver mullet.
I don't think he has a mullet.
He could.
He could.
Well,
He just pins it up.
Maybe he'll grow it
anybody
out for a role.
could.
Not anyone.
Some people are bald.
Bald.
Bold and bald.
Do you ever wonder how people would describe you if you were in a game of Guess Who?
I don't want to think about that. Strikingly handsome?
That'd
Intelligent
be painful
looking.
if you saw him put that one down, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Obviously not that
I don't
guy.
want to play anymore.
Oh, we should make a family Guess Who
That would be funny.
Oh boy.
to do like during family reunion or something, but you can't say names.
I think it'd be funny if we did family. Oh, what's the tic-tac-toe game? Hollywood Squares. Family
Oh.
Squares.
You want to be the center, don't you?
Aren't I always the center?
In your mind? Oh,
Why are you sniffing into the microphone?
are you a
I'm
dog?
spelling.
Oh.
I'm
That's not how that
centering.
works.
I'm the center.
Oh,
Come
I
on.
get it.
I get it now.
That was a stretch.
Yes, very stretchy.
That's what people say that don't understand.
So, exciting news. I have a new nephew.
Me
You
too.
do?
We all we both have new nephews?
Yes. What a coincidence.
So do I.
What? That's
I
insane!
didn't know she had triplets. Is that how it works?
That would be
Spencer,
funny.
she had triplets.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That would like increase your family by 17%.
Are you here to pick up your kid? No, I'm shopping for buses.
Actually, I didn't do the math, so I don't know if that's the correct figure.
We can figure it out off air. Or you figure it out and we'll talk.
30%.
So you know how I don't like answering the phone at work?
What? I've never called your office and had you answer. Yeah, I know.
So my lead, Rob, he always grabs the phone like while it's still on the first ring.
Yes, every time I call you, I'm like, "Hi, Rob. Can I talk to St. Jimmy?"
And if he's not there, then one of the newer guys answers it. And if that guy's not there, then the other new guy.
Do you guys have an
Answers it.
answering machine? So if it rings like
We
multiple
do,
times?
but it's not hooked up. I was actually talking about hooking it up so that I wouldn't have to answer it if I'm the only
Is it
one
an actual
there.
answering machine?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't have like voicemail?
No, we're on an analog line now.
The line I'm on, I can't get voicemail. There's like 2 phones in our office that can't get voicemail, and I called the tech support, and they didn't believe me that I was calling them from that building on that number.
I believe it. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
That building doesn't exist.
there was a day this week where
This week?
I was in the office with a coworker that doesn't work in my office. He was just over doing something else. His computer's in a different office.
Gotcha.
And the phone rang, and he answered it.
What'd you say?
He said he answered it and told them who he was.
It's fun to watch LFG answer someone's phone that's been ringing like for 5 minutes.
Why would you let it ring that long?
That was his question when he answered that. They're obviously not here.
What did they say?
I don't know. I didn't hear their side of the conversation, but whatever they said did not dissuade him from ratcheting up his anger level.
I've been tempted to walk over to the other side of the office where the production supervisor sits and answer his phone and be like, why would you let it ring this long? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, do you think somebody walking by is going to come in or...
They might show up all of a sudden.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've had really, really quiet, like, very great days until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I realized somebody had unplugged my phone when I was in a meeting because of people calling, letting it ring and ring and ring.
Oh, my gosh. I should...
If I call somebody and they don't answer after 3 rings, I just sit it on the table.
If I call someone and they don't answer after a few rings, I hang up and I'm like, oh,
Yes.
thank goodness. I
Yeah.
don't have to talk to someone on the phone.
Well, the thing is, if you're calling somebody's desk, they're either there or
they're not.
So they're going to answer it right away or not.
Do you ever write an email saying that you tried calling them when you didn't?
No.
No, but that's a good idea.
I've had someone do that to me where they claimed I was working night shift to cover whatever project they were doing, and one of the supervisors got told that, or by one of his workers, that, yeah, I tried to talk to engineering, but they weren't there. I was like, oh, I was there the entire time. Backed it a little bit.
I think we should mention at this point that if you hear voices in the background, there's a Dungeons and Dragons game going on in the next
It's not
room.
ours.
Yeah, they didn't
It's
invite
Zoc's.
us. Oh.
I don't know what his character name is. I guess I shouldn't say it's Zoc because it could be Goldar.
Goldar?
Goldar the mullet bringer.
The mullet bringer.
If you have long hair, he
Uh.
cuts the front to a reasonable length and leaves the back alone. What was I going to say? Oh, I was thinking that I had the idea just now. I have some coworkers that work in this other office, and it's kind of long and narrow. And if I ever know that the guy that sits at the end is there alone, I should call the office on the other side, the phone on the other side
You
of the
should
office,
call.
and just let it ring.
You should call the one closest to him. Just 3 rings. The next one, 3 rings. The next one, or start farther away and have it. Then he'll feel anxiety knowing it's coming towards him.
That is a good idea.
And then remember, call his number.
Oh, that's good. Call everybody but him. I could do that.
Aw.
I'd have to go over and see which number is which phone.
What if my kids accuse me of like playing mind games? Me?
I believe it.
What?
Our new nephew's mother could attest to that.
Should I say it over there?
No, I think she's listening.
Should I get mad?
I think even just talking this much about it is going
She's
to...
picturing it right
It's
now.
already
Yes.
happened.
It's already happened.
Sorry, Mom.
So, what are you doing later tonight?
Sleeping?
Are you?
You
Yes.
better not.
Oh, when are you going to see the
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I was thinking you were going to the late show tonight.
Tomorrow night, late show. 10:45.
Right.
Okay.
You're like the 4th person today that's innuendoed that I was... No, that's not the right word.
Excuse me.
Implied.
Well, I heard your son earlier saying something like, when are we going to the show? And you said a time.
10:45.
And I thought he meant tonight.
Oh, no.
And I
That'd be
was
crazy.
thinking you're going to be tired tomorrow.
I've done that the last 2 Star Wars days.
Yes.
Decided to put it off till 10:45.
I don't know what day I'm seeing it.
Guess what I'm seeing tomorrow night?
Jumanji.
It comes out on the 20th.
No.
Oh, it's not out yet?
No.
I thought you guys went and saw it.
They did.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. We went and saw Jumanji.
How, if it's not out yet?
Sneak preview.
They had, for Amazon Prime members,
Oh, you
you
told
could
me
buy
about that.
tickets and go to an early
You want to hear something
showing.
funny?
What?
I bought my Star Wars tickets. Like 2 days later, I got an email from my auto insurance.
Oh yeah?
They were having a special screening for their customers
Ooh.
of Star Wars Saturday
Oh,
for you and 7 guests.
nobody invites me to watch movies.
Gratis.
Well, I follow The Rock on Facebook, and
That's a good
so I saw he put something on there. Hey, Amazon Prime members.
How do you follow The Rock on Facebook?
Go to.
Would it be
He
Twitter?
gathers no rot moss, you know.
I follow Moss on Facebook, so that's weird.
Facebook
So,
Are you doing it on Twitter?
Facebook.
He has a fan page or something?
I don't ever go to Twitter. Are you kidding me?
What's under
Yes.
The Rock?
And he posted on there, if you're an Amazon Prime member, go to this link and you can watch the movie early.
The Rock.
And so I looked it up, and the local theater was playing it. So I said, "Hey, wife, let's go."
That's
and
cool.
we went. I'll talk about it.
Dwayne
in
Johnson,
consumption.
The Rock.
No, the other one.
Hey, it says that you're a friend on that one.
Me?
How do you subscribe?
Just start
Follow.
pushing
Follow.
buttons.
There we go. And like. I should probably have liked first.
Well, you didn't know you liked him until you followed him.
Wait, you can follow Vin Diesel too? I'll follow him.
No.
You can follow all kinds of.
Ooh, Jason
celebrities.
Statham. Follow.
How come you never accept my friend requests? No,
You've sent me friend requests?
no, I
I get a lot of friend requests for people. I'm like, who is this? I had somebody like share pictures to me on my Google. They're like, you know, when you click share. There's some guy with looked like he was Middle Eastern maybe, and like 2 girls that were in like modest bathing suits, but like playing in the pool and outside the pool. I was like, what the crap is this?
send it to the wrong DVD.
Maybe it's one of our friends maybe it's one of our listeners.
Oh, maybe.
How would they find out your name?
Yeah,
I was
we
hoping-
never. Have...
I checked to make it was just to view though. It wasn't like to edit because I could have some fun then. So be careful when you're sharing things on Google that if you want them to edit it, make sure you get the right person.
Sharing it on Google, like the Google
Docs.
Docs.
Oh, someone shared a Google Docs with you.
Yes. Like 8 pictures.
Weird.
Oh,
Agreed. Yeah, one of those Googles, I guess.
yeah.
I really should write down my banter beforehand because I cannot remember what I was going to
Yeah, I
banter about.
can't. I have a
I'm OG. Original
notes
Google.
app on my phone. I just write little notes. Like I wrote the word nephew, and then I wrote office phone.
Ah.
So, because those were things I was going to talk about.
Uh-huh.
I got a gift from LFG today.
Oh, did you?
Yes. They gave me a little Star Wars figurine thing. Or
Oh, did you
Vehicle?
give one to everyone in your office?
everyone got something. One lady's just like, she opens the package, she's like, oh, I got a little box, and it's got some stuff in it. She didn't realize it was like a picture. It had something on the backside. It
Oh.
says like, sorry, I can't adult today. Or something. And she didn't know that until I came over and like,
You had to explain it to
Yeah.
her.
That's
well,
funny.
what's on the backside? She's like, oh, this is something, it has something on it. It's funny.
That is funny. So I was working late today. I was the last one in my office, and 15 minutes before I was supposed to leave the building to go home, the fire alarm went off.
Oh, man.
So I locked everything up, got my jacket and backpack, and went and mustered out in the right place. I figured, well, I'm still on the clock, so I didn't feel right just leaving. And
So did anyone have to catch up to the mustard?
Ketchup.
yeah,
Sorry.
I relish jokes like that. But apparently there was like a gas leak because when I
Oh.
left my office and went out into the main shop area, I could smell like natural gas smell, or propane or something. And I went out and the guy that had pulled the fire alarm was out there near the group I was mustering with, and confirmed that it was pulled because there was a gas smell.
Wow.
So hopefully my building doesn't explode.
I
tonight.
walked past it and we didn't know what was happening.
There were like 5 fire
And
trucks.
Everyone's outside the building or whatever, and we're walking past. So I asked him about it. He said it was a gas leak. I was like, they were kind of standing pretty close
Yeah.
to the building for
If
it to be
it
a gas leak.
exploded, it would have injured a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at least it was on swing shift, so it's not like it was the first team.
Speaking of gas, so I was watching Star Trek today
Mm-hmm.
while I was in the room with my Alexa, and inexplicably, Alexa makes a farting noise.
What?
Yes.
You can look on your... Do you have the Alexa phone app?
Yes.
Could you look up and see why she did that? Because you can see what you've said to her.
Well, I was watching Star Trek, and my
Why did Alexa make a fart noise?
and my Alexa responds to the name computer, so
Right.
they
So something they
address the
said to the
computer
computer.
often on Star Trek. Well, the only thing I could think of was they were in a holodeck, and they said "computer freeze program," and like shortly after that, the computer farted.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Alexa, make a farting noise.
They have Alexa commercials on TV, and our Alexa will respond. It's like, they should have... I don't know. She doesn't always respond, so sometimes it's fine, but we've now said Alexa like 12 times.
Alexa, buy Enginerdy Show t-shirts. Yes.
I don't know that she can do that. Because they're not on Amazon.
I did ask the Alexa why it made a farting noise, and it couldn't answer. I said, I can't answer that. I'm like, is it
Well, I
because
had
you had
Taco
a
Bell
lot
once.
of chili today?
Oh, man.
Maybe that's something it does.
But
according to Reddit.
you can ask Alexa to make a farting noise, and it will do it.
Will it?
Yes.
What else can it make it? They have make
Because I told my wife about it when she got home, and so she said, "Computer, make a farting noise."
Well,
And
this will be
she did it
fun.
again.
Alexa, define chicken. I got a really weird look at my wife when I did that the other day. I came home and grocery shopping. We were putting stuff on the floor, and I just asked Alexa to define chicken.
And what
What
did
did
it
she
say?
say?
To define chicken.
Oh.
It gave you the foul answer. It gave you the one about a game where you
Oh,
approach each other at high speed. And
I saw that game happen on a TV show I was watching.
my mic is totally slipping down. Over my computer. There we go.
Now we can hear you.
Now, yes, now I can hear myself.
Weird.
That's how you know it's
I've
working.
only just begun to speak.
All right, solo time. DVD, take the show.
Well, no, I'm embarrassed.
Oh,
Oh, look, I'm the one that's put stuff in.
Yeah, obviously.
Cell. That's the next movie.
It's kind of weird it's this far down on the list when it's the newest film, I believe.
That's not on your DVD, right?
No.
When is the next time we're gonna be able to
Use the
watch that
DVD.
one?
The next one I have on the DVD
I don't know. I
is
could do it next week.
Pet
Yeah, but
Cemetery.
DVD won't be here, will you?
Next
Yeah, I'll be
week.
here next week.
Oh, I'll be busy this coming week.
It's
Okay.
in 2 weeks he won't be here.
Right. This coming week, I'm
Right.
gonna be busy all week.
Are you going to be here in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, so we can
I'll give you a
still
key.
podcast.
Yes.
I think my wife has a key.
I was just
Skype
thinking
in.
that we could.
Yeah?
I resubscribed to the DVD portion of Netflix,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
so I could possibly set it up so I get the next movie.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, Dolan's Cat. Why is Dolan's Cadillac so low? That's a good movie.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is that about that ghost
Maybe
guy
all
that
of them-
crashes?
All the
No, it
movies
has
from there up are good
maybe
ones.
it has that guy from Star Trek in it.
Jimmy Doohan?
No,
Nichelle Nichols?
that's not a guy. It's Will Scarlet.
Will Scarlet.
What's that
Oh.
guy's name?
Oh,
Christian Slater.
Christian Slater. That's
Yeah.
right. We should have known. He's the guy from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the next one I have on the DVD is Pet Cemetery.
Oh, and then the one after that.
And then I have,
Something down the line.
what's the other one? Hold on, I can't think of the name. Dead Zone.
Oh.
So should we move on to our
Let's do it.
Yes, let's do our
silver
movie
bullet
review
review?
of
The
Stephen
Silver
King's
Bullet.
Silver Bullet.
Bullet.
Band.
Where
Not
did it
bullet.
go?
It's right there.
There it is.
Silver Bullet.
All right, so Silver Bullet. Should we give a
Silver
brief
Bullet.
overview?
There's a werewolf
There's
killing people in a town. There's a kid in a
murders
wheelchair.
happening in a town.
There's a sister that doesn't like her crippled brother.
There's a lot of anti-cripple talk in
I
that.
mean handicapped?
Oh,
Don't you mean handy capable? This kid is very capable, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yes, more capable than
He's-
most of the other characters.
I think so.
Yeah.
Except
Lucky,
maybe his
too.
uncle.
Gary Busey.
Maybe his drunk uncle's a little
His drunkle.
as
It's called a
capable as
drunkle.
a drunkle.
Drunkle.
His drunkle is as capable as he is.
Yeah,
And at one point, Janie does have a gun.
Yep.
that's
And at
true.
one point, I actually leaned over to St. Jimmy and said, "Is this acting?" Because I was surprised there's acting in a Stephen King movie.
Yes, I think we've turned the corner.
I think so.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because this one was pretty good, and I know Dolan's Cadillac.
And I
was
know
good.
Cat's Eye's good. It's kind of like Stephen King's rendition of like Twilight Zone type stuff.
Oh.
It's like
Okay,
4
so-
different stories.
Silver Bullet. There's a kid in a wheelchair. He
A
is
motorized wheelchair.
yes.
Made by his uncle. His
Yes.
uncle.
His drunkle. And there's some killings that are happening in the town.
Well, you know right away, the first murder.
It's like right after the credits, right?
Yes. The guy on the railroad tracks.
You don't really see what did it though, do you?
Oh, you know
You see
it's
the
a monster. I forgot about that one. But the
Yeah.
second one, you see that it's a
You see
werewolf.
what it is, yes. And so, but nobody knows it's a werewolf.
Right.
How did they get the inkling that it was a werewolf? I forget.
I don't think they ever did.
They not until the kid saw it. Well, the
The
kid was
kid got
telling his
attacked by
uncle he thought it was a monster.
Well, you know,
Right,
joking
that's right.
around.
You called it a monster. Okay, so then the werewolf tries to attack the kid. The kid,
Well, because the kid knows who the
Oh, spoiler alert,
werewolf
by the way.
is.
he doesn't at the point that the werewolf attacks him.
Oh
No.
no, it's just season.
If he knew it was actually a werewolf, I doubt he would have ventured out like that.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was shooting fireworks off. A werewolf
From his
approaches. His drunkle gave him. And he shoots a bottle rocket into the werewolf's eye and escapes in his motorcycle
I
wheelchair.
think it's a bit bigger than a bottle rocket.
Yeah,
it
it was
is a
definitely
rocket.
bigger than a bottle rocket.
Well, whatever.
It's at least this big. With a
It
stick.
wasn't that big. The stick was that big. But anyway,
It's like an orange on a toothpick.
he tells his sister.
She believes him, and then
His
explicitly
sister goes door to door.
collecting cans.
I can't say that word.
Ostensibly
Yes,
collecting cans
cans.
for charity.
but really she's checking out all the eyeballs in town.
There's a really weird scene where she's just going into places and everybody's looking at her.
Oh, that
And
is
she's
weird.
like checking out their eyes.
I like the one in the barber shop where she has to unwrap a
untowel
towel from
somebody.
somebody to look at him.
Oh
That'd be
man!
weird.
And she gave up. She's like, I guess he was lying because I've been all over town
It's a
and I
small
didn't
town.
see anybody with only one eye.
and she brings the cans to the church.
Are you gonna
And
give away the spoiler?
Yeah.
how old is this movie?
Oh, it's pretty old.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert: it's the priest.
This part actually got an audible gasp from my wife.
Yes. Now, I knew I'd seen this movie as a kid,
Yeah.
so I knew it.
I think
A
I've
few
seen
minutes
this.
before this,
more
that
recently
point,
than
my
that.
wife turns to me and says, "I think it's the preacher," and she's
Yeah.
right.
Well, there was like music that kind of.
Well-
it was-
Well, and there was a dream that the preacher has
Mm.
filled with werewolves,
Yeah.
so that kind of
Well, and all the funerals take place at his church, so he's
Right.
kind of benefiting from the murders.
does he get paid for funerals?
I think most churches you have to pay to have your funeral
Oh.
there. I think ours.
So you
is-
think it was a money
it was a racket?
racket?
Yeah.
Okay.
well, he's trying to justify some of the killings.
Well, that was
Yeah.
the
At
weird
one
thing.
point,
Is
I was
he's
like-
like,
but what about the guy that's like the railroad worker?
I know, and
How
the
did-
kid flying a kite.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't that the kid that
He was a
teased the
sad
girl
kid.
with the snake? But yeah, he didn't know about that.
He didn't know about it.
Unless
He was kind of a bad kid, but
Unless he was skulking around.
So anyway, the kid. What's the kid's name?
Billy. I don't know.
that,
Corey Haim.
you should probably remember that. The cripple kid.
Yes.
Should I ask what the crippled kids?
Well, we could probably.
What was
IMDb
Corey
it.
Haim's character in Silver
What is
Bullet?
Corey Haim's character in The Silver Bullet? Marty.
Marty.
Oh, that's right, Marty.
Marty and
Coleslaw.
his sister send a letter, or several letters, to the werewolf slash preacher and tell him that they know who he is and that he should kill himself.
I thought he was sending a bunch of them, apparently.
Yes.
I never. It's like.
He said he sent them every day for like a
Right.
week.
And so he tries to go out of his way to kill the kid. They make a silver bullet. Well, and the wheelchair is called the silver bullet also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a silver bullet. The kid is... The drunkle sends the parents out of town so they can have a showdown at the house with the werewolf. And they have to watch it to find out. No, just kidding.
They're all
Do
killed.
they survive?
Somebody doesn't survive.
There's one of Paul's favorite actors is in the movie.
Oh yeah,
The
Terry
other Quinn.
The other
Terry
guy from
O'Quinn.
Star Trek.
Yeah, Terry O'Quinn from Star Trek. From the episode Pegasus.
Has Gary Busey ever
Season
been in Star
7
Trek?
of Next Generation.
Um,
Episode 7. Just kidding, I know the episode number.
Seven.
So there's the actor that played the Reverend. His
Everett
name's
McGill?
Everett McGill, and I was like, "That's the character's name in Oh Brother Where Art Thou?" And I was right.
Oh, is this?
Wow.
Yeah, George Clooney's character's name is Everett
Who?
McGill.
Who wrote that movie?
Coen Brothers.
So they straight up stole it from Stephen King.
Well, it's the actor's name, not the character's name
Oh,
in this.
so they stole from that guy.
Yeah. Well, his name's Ulysses Everett McGill, but everybody calls him Everett. So, I called that one.
So,
Starting
get
at
started?
title quality.
it was okay, so the Pegasus is actually episode 12 of season 7.
Oh.
I was off by a few.
Oh, what is wrong with
That was a
him?
good episode.
Yeah,
Which one?
Next Generation.
The one that Terry O'Quinn's in.
Pegasus.
They have a
Cloaking
ship
device.
that can cloak and go through solid matter,
It gets
and it's
stuck
like
in,
in
an
an asteroid, and they have to go in there, and they're like
Terry
the
O'Quinn
French-
shows
the,
up.
The Romulans are also looking for it because it's a treaty violation.
Terry O'Quinn shows up because he was Riker's commanding officer when they were
Oh.
both on the ship, and he tries to get Riker to keep covering it up so he can
Guess that
recover.
sounds
And they put the
familiar.
cloaking
device.
device on the Enterprise so it can fly out of the asteroid. But then they, Picard tells the Romulans what's going on. He fesses up.
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
Well, it was against the treaty.
It
Yeah.
sure wasn't Locutus.
Anyway, back to Silver Bullet.
Oh. Title quality.
Well, like I said, there is an actual Silver Bullet, and
And there's multiple silver bullets.
the boys' chair is called the Silver Bullet.
Immediately it tells you exactly what the movie's about.
Yes.
Right? What else gets killed with silver bullets? It's gotta be werewolf.
So yeah, that was good.
I give it a 9.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm an 8. I don't know. It's hard for me to go more than 8.
Can we go up to 10?
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel safe giving it a 9.
I'll give it a 9 also.
Oh, 9.
Casting.
I like the casting. I
It
thought
was
there was
fine.
good acting in it. I think
Yeah.
everyone did a good job. Actually believed that the mother was exasperated with her brother, the drunkle.
Or the drunkle.
And there was good acting in that and banter.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe the sister hated him.
we're not to the acting part yet, so I'll save my story.
Okay. Casting.
So the casting was good. Big names. Corey Haim's a big name from back then.
Yes, he
Gary
was.
Busey,
I go with
O'Quinn.
8.
Everett.
All right. I'll go with 8.
Oh yeah, Terry O'Quinn was awesome as
Yeah.
the sheriff.
Yeah, he was good.
You could tell he had some depth to
And this
him.
adds to the many things that when Lost came on, I saw that actor and I thought, that guy seems familiar.
Soundtrack, I don't really remember.
I don't
It
remember
wasn't-
it either.
It didn't stand out.
It wasn't good enough to notice, and it wasn't
You
bad
know-
enough to notice. So
I think it had appropriate
I thought it was
scary thing,
Yeah,
building
I'd
up
give it a
tension.
6.
yeah, some of the scary noise things were a little off-putting though, when they were just making like those weird mechanical sounding noises for like to show you it's an intense scene. I was like, okay, a little much.
Oh.
So I might go below average on that.
because it didn't pop out to me, but I do remember getting my anxiety on
Oh,
a couple of parts. So it probably was the music.
6.
okay. Cinematography.
That was fine.
Yeah,
Nothing to write home about,
For the-
but
for the era it was in, it was all right.
I give it a 5.
All right, I'll go 5. That's right in the middle. David gave it a 6.
I like the special effects.
Special effects.
I thought
Very
the werewolf
dated.
was dated,
when
but
he
it
was
was physical effects though.
when
It
he was
kinda nice
changing
to
from
see.
a werewolf back into a human, it was like these close-up shots of his hair on his
It's sucking back
back
in.
or
Yeah.
something sucking in. I was just like, okay, that's weird.
I thought that one was okay.
My
There's
favorite-
one point in the fog where one of the people pops up, and you just like, that totally looks like a dummy.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I like the part where though the guy in the fog is like he has
a
a
bat.
bat. It's like you can see his hand like he's trying to hit the werewolf.
Above the fog, yeah.
And all of a sudden, the bat comes out, but it's like on the other
werewolf's
side. It's
hand.
kind of the werewolf's hand, and the werewolf's beating him to death with it.
That was kind of silly.
I was
I
going
like
to
that
talk
one.
about that in the LOLs.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I did laugh.
All right, special effects.
4.
All right, I'll probably give it a...
I like the part where the werewolf hit O'Quinn with it. That was really good looking, I thought, as far as gore goes.
I'll give it a 5.
I don't know why he
David gave it a 7.
hit people with the stick sometimes, and other times he mauled them like an animal.
Yeah, he has claws that can, like, tear
Well, it
flesh.
seemed like he was waiting till the full moon was in its fullest. When he was at full strength.
Okay.
That's why he was going to attack the kids and abuse or the drunkle.
Right.
So
Right.
at certain points, he was more human.
I
But he
get it.
still,
Yeah, they
no matter
kinda
what
mentioned-
form he is, he didn't want to get caught.
They kind of
Yeah.
mentioned that he had, the moon. He was basically a werewolf all the time, but more werewolfy during the moon.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Stunts. Don't really remember many.
Well, there's
With
kid
the
climbing
driving the
in and out of the
motorcycle.
tree and then down the side of the house and driving the motorcycle thing,
Oh yeah,
At
popping
pretty high
wheelies
pace.
on his trike.
getting crashed a couple times by a car.
Yeah.
I give
There was
it
a sweet baseball scene.
Is that really a stunt?
No.
This could be unsafe.
Nobody was even killed by a soda can in that.
They were
scene.
handling a snake.
Okay.
All right, I'll give it a 6.
All right. I'm not.
I like the
I don't
stunts.
think I'm gonna go higher than a 6. Steven gave it an 8. Plot. I thought the plot was actually pretty.
See, I'm going to fall prey
Well-
to this. Has been so much better than what we've seen previous to this.
I do have a problem with him trying to rationalize the murders to the kid because he only mentioned one.
Right.
He was grasping at
Okay,
straws.
so he's like, oh,
Well, that explains why he went into that house. To
the
kill
other
him.
ones were just crimes of opportunity. I
Right.
guess.
I
That's
guess.
what it seemed
But
like.
he's trying to tell the kid, oh, I saved her soul because she was going to commit suicide and I killed her.
Well, maybe he thought
It's like-
the kid with the kite was heading down a road that was going to lead to some serious crime.
It was totally just trying to justify himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It may have affected his choice of victim that one time,
Yeah.
but how did he know she was going to commit suicide?
Because he's the preacher. She probably told him.
Yeah, that it would have been nice if they would have alluded to that a little
Maybe he
bit.
got cut.
Maybe.
That might go to continuity also.
Yeah.
For you. I thought it was fun. I
don't know.
think bad guys will just grasp at straw.
Yeah.
He's trying to justify it to the kid and
I
to
think I'll
himself.
give it a 7.
That's what I was thinking. Because it's not a real complicated plot. It's very straightforward.
There's a monster.
It's just a
There's
monster movie.
Yeah.
Does the monster need this motivation? But it was nice that the other characters had, their own things they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
I like that the drunkle, even though he was a drunkle, was very much into trying to make the kid feel like a normal kid.
Yeah, that was an interesting interplay where he was accusing the mom of treating him different because he's in a wheelchair and
Yeah.
Whereas, the more moral choice might have been the sister who wasn't treating him different. She treated him like a little brother.
right. Most kids are annoyed at because their younger siblings get privileges
Special privilege, yeah.
because they're younger,
hmm
and he got extra special because he was in a wheelchair.
But it was nice at the end
You
how
never build me a handicap ramp.
you could tell they really did care about each other.
Right.
at
Yeah,
the end.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I liked it. Continuity is next.
I thought
It was fine. There wasn't too much continuous. Is that the right word? I don't know. Nothing
yeah.
was really super bad.
Right, and it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't super complicated.
Yeah.
no.
Which I think it
Just-
could be more
I was
impressive
waiting-
if it was complicated and still fit
I was
together.
waiting for Corey Haim to mess up and move his legs at some point.
Yeah.
Well,
They
it
didn't.
did. Well, are
There
you
were
sure?
a couple times where I was
Well, when
like,
he came out of the window, I guess, and down the side of the house.
yeah. Okay,
Like, how
here's
did he get in
something.
the tree?
They didn't show that.
I know.
Here's something that might be continuity.
Maybe his friend helped him up there.
What's
and then
that?
Went away.
Okay, I don't know if this counts, but so they're going after this. So the townspeople think it's just a serial killer or something,
Right.
psycho. All the murders occurred in town, or even in people's houses. So they have a curfew, and then all the townspeople go out in the woods looking for him.
Well, I think they went into the woods past where the park was, where the kid got slaughtered.
No, maybe they should have
And he
made
got
that
ripped.
more clear then.
I don't know if maybe he got ripped apart to the point that they think that he was killed by the same person that. I don't know.
Well, they
What's her
figured it
mom?
was the same person. Well, the first murder, the railroad guy, they didn't know it was a
What's
murder.
They thought it
interesting to
was
me
that,
is that they went out there and the preacher's begging them not to go,
Oh yeah.
and then immediately follows them out there and starts
Yes.
slaughtering them.
That was interesting. That
So it kind of showed that his humanity was slipping away, maybe. And as it got later in the night and the moon got out more, maybe.
Yeah.
They're hunting me. I'm gonna go hunt them.
yeah, I think his human form didn't really want
So
to
he
murder
did know
people.
where they were going, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's how he found them. Because at that point, you don't know it's him.
Right.
And so I had the thought, I was like, oh, that's interesting that they just happened to go right where the monster is. But then later it makes
Yeah,
sense. He
So
thinks
that
back.
helps
So
the continuity.
yeah, that's actually pretty good.
He followed him out there.
Yeah.
He probably gone to the pickup bed of one of the trucks drivers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he tried to talk him out of going. Once they go, then they are heading towards.
Well, and at some point he turned into a werewolf, and then he knew where all the people were.
Also, he's trying to keep him from going to hell, right? Because they were going to go
Kill somebody.
kill something outside of justice.
Well, and there was a high likelihood there was going to be some friendly fire going on in that group.
Especially with that lady that was kind of mean to her.
Was that her husband?
I don't know if that was her husband or not, but man,
I'm
she
going
was.
to make lemonade in my pants. Is that?
It goes towards later the quotability.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'll give it a 7 for
Okay.
continuity.
7's across the board.
I feel like I'm trying to give a pitch as to why you guys should.
Characters, I really liked a lot of the
They're great.
characters. They had depth,
Yeah.
motivation. Nobody did anything against character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, against. You always understood everybody did what they should have
Based on who they were.
based on what you knew about them.
There wasn't a drifter. That was interesting.
Or a writer.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There was a writer though.
Oh, you know something that bugged me? I don't know what category this would fall under.
Okay.
It was narrated in parts by the
Oh
girl.
yeah.
So you knew she survived, but it was totally unnecessary.
Right. The
And she
narration
was-
is annoying.
She was like older because her voice sounded like an old woman.
Uh-huh.
Totally unnecessary and distracting.
Man,
At least it didn't happen very
I'm
often.
37. No. And that was the other thing. It was like so intermittent. It was like,
Yeah.
it was at the very beginning, but then there was like right before the final scene, right? And then
yeah, it
Well,
was.
there,
No,
she
there's
also
some
narrated
parts,
the
yeah.
part where they sent letters every day.
she explaining why she believed her brother.
Yeah.
It was
That was odd.
every time.
I'm
I
not
was
sure
just like, what is going on? So maybe that goes to horror?
Dialogue?
Oh,
Horror. The narration was horrible.
maybe that would fall under.
I think it falls
dialogue.
in dialogue.
We're on characters now. I'm going to say
Okay.
8.
I like the characters. I'll go 8 also. So did
It's
DVD.
the best acting, but I was afraid to grade it too high because we have so many movies left.
Yeah.
So, the acting. Do you remember the scene where the werewolf breaks through the house where the drunkle and the kids are at?
Yeah.
And do you remember the drunkle's reaction?
No.
No.
Oh, it seemed supernatural. Not supernatural. It seemed really
He
natural.
floated and then
Like-
like shot lightning
like he
bolt from
didn't-
his fingers.
Like the actor didn't know.
The actor did not know
Where
that was
they're
going to
coming
happen.
through. Maybe they didn't tell him what wall he was coming through.
And so
That was
they used that take of his natural reaction to that happening.
that's
Well,
funny.
I liked how they also, in that scene where she sees, and he doesn't quite believe at this point it's going to happen,
Uh-huh.
the drunkle, so
He
when
sees
she
the werewolf. or
when she sees the
it.
werewolf out the window, she freaks out, and he walks to the window. Look
Yeah,
out! Look what is
right.
wrong with
Well, he
you?
has the gun.
Right, but still, you're going
He
right
still
to.
I know.
doesn't really believe it.
He doesn't
though.
believe it though.
Yeah,
And so
that's true.
then they wait. You know, you think it might happen then they wait till he like turns around and like. I liked it. I thought it was
the
really
scene in the shop of the guy that makes the bullet.
well done. Oh
is
yeah,
funny.
that guy's creepy. Is he
He's
in the
just
other
like-
Stephen King books?
He's like, it's. I don't know, but
Because
he just took it in stride, and then at the end, he's like, well, it's just for a gag, and he's like, or you could kill a werewolf with it or something, you know. It's like
I think he knew.
maybe
Because
he
it almost,
was a werewolf.
I thought it almost
too.
sounded like that this was something that happened historically or periodically. You'd
Mm.
I don't know if I got that sense.
have to read a transcript.
I'd give it an 8 for acting.
Okay.
Like I said, I had to limit mine because I started getting really excited with some of mine, and then I
It
was
was
like, "We
for-
have so many movies."
You know,
left.
the time period kind of hurts the act. Well, it was probably decent acting for the time,
Hmm.
but for modern,
I don't know. I think Gary Busey's a good actor anytime he's in a movie.
yeah. Well, it's hard when you have kids too, because sometimes you know.
That's what was
acting
helpful
isn't
having like
great.
Corey Haim because that's kind of a well-known child actor at the time.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
His friend is a little forced, I thought, maybe sometimes. He got
Yeah.
eaten, so it was fine.
I think the worst actor was maybe the Kite Kid's dad.
You just didn't like the casting, probably, of him. He looked like he was a banker or something.
It was weird. I don't know. I'll just go 7. Just get it over with.
Okay.
That's what DVD gave it. Dialogue, I thought, was actually pretty good,
Well,
except for the
narration.
narration.
voiceover narration.
well, and there were some lines that
The lemonade
Yeah.
one was
yeah,
kind of
I was
weird.
like, this is so
It was-
weird.
Yeah, the schlockiness.
But it makes
showed
me think
through
that Stephen King
occasionally.
or whoever actually wrote the screenplay maybe knew somebody like old people that had heard him say this or something.
Maybe.
I don't know how you come up with that on your own.
Was this the movie where I was commenting like, "Oh, you guys are from the same town, but you have totally different
Oh,
accents"?
probably.
Yeah.
Because there was like a little girl and she had like this deep, like Kentucky accent or something.
Maybe
and
she's- Did we ever find out where they were at?
I think it was in like Illinois or Indiana,
I
or
don't
maybe I'm
remember.
thinking of something else.
And then that girl's dad, he was just like so, just saying such horrible things about crippled people.
Oh yeah,
That was a
that
horrible
was that guy wasn't
trailer park drunk.
a good character. Oh,
Well, he was killed.
yeah.
He knew he was going down.
You can get a pure 9mm
Yeah.
silver bullet
Drother?
for
Drunk
$40
fire.
on eBay right now.
He didn't portray drunk people.
It's in
Oh,
Tarker's Mill.
it didn't say where it's at.
Could be anywhere.
Narrated by Tova Feldsha. It's a weird name.
Yep.
Alright, so we've got dialogue.
6.
I put 6.
Alright.
I was
I'll go with
comparing
you
it to
on
other
that.
things. I was like, it's got the best dialogue so far.
Yeah. Horror.
It's
I think
kinda
it was-
horrible when he was ripping apart that girl.
Like, she's a whore? Is that what you're saying?
Well, she was.
So the one thing I remember about
Never
this
mind.
movie when I was a kid was when after they kill the werewolf, and then you think it's dead, and then it like
Yeah.
does
Jumps
a jump
up.
scare.
Ah.
Yeah.
Those
I
are great.
remember that as a kid. That's pretty much the only thing I remembered about the movie as a
Yeah.
kid.
See, everyone was sitting next to their spouse except for me, because of the Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
But I was like occasionally watching her, and she was
on the edge of.
Just funny because then we had to go someplace to make copies, and we were in the church building with all the lights off,
Mhm.
and we separated. So I had to go find my coat, and
Uh-huh.
I had left there, and she went to go see if she can find these. What are they called? They're going to sing Christmas
Kittens?
carols.
Oh,
So they had printed like copies of music,
okay.
and she thought she'd left them there. So we come back together. All the lights are off in the building.
Yeah, it's weird being
She's like, I heard somebody trying to get in the building. I was like, what?
Was it a werewolf?
There was a truck in the parking lot that wasn't ours.
Oh.
So we're sitting in the office, on the computer, trying to find because she could never find them, so we had to find new ones. And someone knocks or tries the handle and knocks on the door. And I can see
Nice.
she's freaked out. So I get up and open the door. It's like an older gentleman. He's like, just to let you know, I locked up the building, so as long as you guys lock the door and you go out, it should be good. I was like, all right, thank you. That's what she heard, is him checking the outside doors.
Oh,
he was
that's
making sure they were
funny.
locked.
But that was like the day after we watched this. And so I think she was still a little
Yeah,
freaked
when my wife had to go to the church to make copies, she would always make me go with her if it was dark, because it's creepy being in that big building with no
I don't
lights on
think it
and by
is.
yourself. I wouldn't have a problem, but
Anyway, I thought it scared her. I'd seen it before, and I don't know, I've watched way scarier movies, but I thought of
Yeah,
the ones we've
that
seen
was
so far,
decent.
It was more than what we've seen so far,
yeah,
so I'll give it a 5.
Okay,
that's what I did.
we'll go 5 on this
Average.
one.
I'm sure there's going to be creepier ones.
Oh, yeah.
later on.
Oh, yeah.
1408. Can't
That
wait
was,
for that one.
some things that are scaring me. Just think about it.
Oh, it's
So-
funny.
LOLs. The
This one had some good
There were
LOLs.
some good ones. I
the
like
wolf taking the bat, and then all you see is the arm.
Yeah.
a lot
And
of
I'm just like,
Busey's,
what the heck?
a lot of Busey's dialogue. Like when he's telling his nephew not to tell his mom he's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
So there were some LOLs in
Yeah,
this.
it was pretty funny.
So I gave it a 6.
Sure.
I think I'll give it a 5.
I'll give it a 6. Alright, quotability. Nothing super.
Except for the lemonade in your pants one.
Which I totally would have
Heck.
forgot until you brought it up.
Oh, it stood out to me like that is the stupidest thing I've heard in a while.
What was any outlandish catchphrases anyone
Like,
said?
why would you put lemons and water and sugar in your pants and mix them up? I didn't get
You'd have
it.
to tie the
It's the
ankle
color, I think.
I, okay.
That
So they
is-
put food coloring in there.
That's
That
good.
makes it better.
That's good humor, though.
Oh.
I love when you seriously explain something that someone's joking about.
Yes. I love that too.
It's good.
Uh,
I gave it a 3, which
yeah, I'd probably give it a 2 or a 3.
I'll go 3.
All right. I'll
I'm
give it
looking
a
back
2
on
just
the
to be
previous
different.
scores, it's like 1, 1, 1, 1.
Awake-titude.
Okay, so I was impressed. DVD's wife made it sound like she was just gonna not even pay attention to the movie and sleep through the whole thing.
it
Yeah.
caught her attention.
She was on the edge of her seat watching this thing.
Well, they start off with a vicious murder debotted. What do you call it when you cut your
Well-
body off? Disembodiment.
But she likes good acting, I think, and immediately there's and the characters are interesting. I mean, all the stuff we've talked about so far is something that would keep you interested in the movie.
Yeah, there were some soap opera elements. You know?
Yeah. She likes murders.
Whoa.
And you bought her
Committing
a gun.
She watches a lot of,
How to Get Away with Murder shows.
she's watched some of those.
Like CSI and...
You ever look at her browsing history and see if she's browsing how to get away with murder?
There's a show called How to Get Away with Murder. She's seen it. There's also one
Does she
about
take
when your
copious
neighbors go
notes
bad.
while she's watching?
What are you doing?
No, but
just
she also likes
journaling.
murder mystery novels, and so this was
I thought this
because there
had-
was you didn't know who it was at first, so she's interested in finding out.
Yeah. I thought I had good awake-titude.
Yeah, me too.
It doesn't mean she won't complain about the next movie.
Yeah.
And some of these she won't watch with us. Like
'Cause they're too
1408,
scary.
yeah. Pet Cemetery, there's no way.
Whoa, 1408's funny.
We have to watch Pet Cemetery?
Yeah, it's on here.
I didn't make it through the first time I tried to watch it.
Why?
Is it too bad or scary?
It was just too creepy with the little kid. I'm just like,
No.
Oh, little kids are creepy. Is it a girl?
no, it's a little boy.
Oh, girls are creepier.
I didn't make it very far in the movie.
Just because you don't have any daughters.
No,
No.
like what's that movie with the
The
creepy
Ring.
little girls? That's creepy. I was thinking the one with Michelle Rodriguez and Mila Jovovich.
Oh, the Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Little girl's creepy.
She's like a computer
Oh, the Red
hologram.
Queen?
Yeah.
She wasn't creepy in the one I saw.
I went to my friend's house once, and his mom makes dolls and sells them at like stores. They have one that looks like a little girl standing in the corner, like it has a backwards cap on, long hair. And I walked past. We were there at his house by himself. I walked past his daughter's room and just peeked in and like freaked me. He's like, I was like, Nate, what's wrong with that stupid doll? He's like, oh, my mom makes dolls, and he gave that one to my daughter. He's like, it's only out because she was here recently, but usually I go put it in the attic.
Oh.
'Cause that one creeps him out too.
My wife has a good friend who is totally creeped out by dolls. And she's a teacher at the school just near
I
your
know
house.
what you're
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
And the teacher whose room she moved into when she started there had this like Raggedy Ann doll. And when she went to like clean out stuff, the doll was not there, and she was like asking around, and nobody knew where it went. And she was like, "I know one day
It's
I'm gonna show up and it's gonna murder me or something."
We
Well,
should
you
buy
should-
one and go put it under a chair.
What I was thinking is you put a little like motor or something in it that's on a timer so that it makes it move a little bit every once in a while.
Just
That's
subtly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's in the head games now?
Anyway, a week to 2. I'll give it a 7.
Okay. We're going with 7s across the board. Puns? There wasn't.
No.
Silver
much.
Bullet being the wheelchair and the bullet that you
Not
need
really
to
a
kill the
pun.
werewolf. Yeah. It's more of a homonym.
It's a hominid.
No, that's the person writing it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It has
Um,
fewer puns than this show.
Much fewer.
I can't think of a single one.
I'm in 2 on it. I'm not even sure why this is the category anymore. I think I added it because I
I
like
think-
puns.
One movie had a pun,
Yeah, it was probably
Once,
that one that we gave
and we gave it.
4
I gave it a 4
Graveyard
Graveyard
Shift.
because
Well,
the graveyard
because
shift. It shifted.
They had an
See, that's the
earthquake
one.
or
I
a
didn't say I
landslide
probably gave
in
it a
it.
1, but I didn't even think about that being a pun. So
All
Yeah.
right. 1.
All right. I can't think of a single.
I couldn't bring myself to give anything about this movie a 1. That's why I gave it a 2.
Well, that one doesn't
It's
contribute
barely-
much to the
right.
score. So,
Group
A
to
low
2
percentage.
would you watch this
by yourself.
by yourself?
I
Probably.
put 7. I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah. I would watch this without you guys.
Why?
Alright.
Don't you like
Alright.
us anymore?
7.
Feel free to borrow
Going to
anytime you want.
7s.
All right.
Alright, so
let's get the score.
Our
Wow.
Mr. Bold gave it a 6.4. I gave it a 6.3, and DVD gave it a 6.7. IMDb has it as a 6.4. This is out of 10.
Boom!
So we nailed it.
I especially nailed it.
Yeah, you got it right on the nose. So you get a 5-point deduction. Oh, wait. That's a different show. The top critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 47, so 4.7 out of 10. And the audience gave it a 5.6 out of 10. So
Wow, it's really better than both.
yeah, we liked it better. So the combination of critics is 5.57, and we gave it a 6.44.
That's almost 1.5 over anything else.
That is, yeah. The next closest is 5.03, and that was Sleepwalkers.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're definitely on an upward trend now. So yeah, that's Silver
Is that-
Bullet. Go watch it.
Is it bad that I can't remember Sleepwalkers?
That was the one with the
Vampire-ish.
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of things.
Okay. How did I forget that?
the life sucker.
The cats everywhere.
That's right.
Wow.
Sorry. I'm getting LOL's not even down. I had it at 7.
All right,
Excellent. Next is Cell. Let's look up the cast real quick because I think the
a
cast.
cell.
It seems like it's a newer movie, and it's got got a pretty good cast, I thought, but it got panned by the reviewers.
Looks like it got a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Ouch.
4.3 on IMDb, but it's
It's got Samuel L. Jackson in it.
John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson, and Isabel Fuhrman,
And Stacy Keach.
Stacy Keach, who's a dude,
Click
And
on it.
Owen Teague.
and Owen Teague.
That name sounds familiar.
He's a well-known character actor.
He was in Prison Break, Born Legacy, Mike Hammer, Private Eye,
Oh,
The New Mike Hammer, and American History X. Okay, looking forward to that.
that's really good. It's got that guy in it.
Joshua Michael
I don't know.
Raggedy? What the heck?
And his sister Anne?
Yeah,
But John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson.
I know. Should be good. I think we'll like it.
I've read the book. Have you guys read the book?
It
No.
was good.
It was one where I thought Stephen King just got bored of the story and just stopped writing. The ending was very
A lot of
the next
his
page?
endings are kind of.
he's like,
Yeah, it was
Rush.
I'm done with this. Print.
That's how my book ends. Just kidding. Have you finished reading it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. All right, and that's nerdy culture.
That was good.
All right, so for Tech Nerdigy,
Educate us.
you are going to
Oh,
learn about
no.
topics such as so
Net
in
neutering.
the United States,
Are nets neutrally buoyant?
net
Net
neutrality.
neutering. It's where you catch something with a net and then you neuter it. Like that did with the sheep.
Okay,
You caught it with a net?
Yeah, I gave the kids his fishing net to catch the sheep that he needed to band and
Oh.
tag.
okay.
And then net the sheep.
It was a sheep?
That was a goat. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
I've lassoed
that
the
makes more
goats
sense.
That's like lassoing.
when that goat got its head stuck in a bucket. Oh, you guys weren't there.
Did you know that they don't have goats anymore?
What?
I was.
They degoated
I
themselves?
think I was there when they gave the goats away.
They
to
gave them away?
No,
Uncle.
well, Uncle Alan is buying a dozen of them,
Oh, okay.
but the rest they sold, and they're to somebody that butchered them. So
That's just done with goats.
yeah, there was a incident. So
Yeah.
net neutrality. So
It
what?
has nothing to do with goats.
So in the U.S. in 2015, they passed some kind of regulation where the FCC would.
Was it
Which is
passed, or
the-
did the FCC just come up with the regulation?
They said it was something Obama did,
It was it's his people that he put in there. And the
probably. So that the Federal Communication Commission, who they regulate phone companies and stuff like that.
They should call themselves the
The
Fed
feces?
Com.
No, I think it's pronounced feces.
feces.
Oh.
They took and they treated internet like a phone company. So they passed rules. There's a good list of the major rules on New York Times article
Seems
about
like
it.
that's why every place only has one internet service.
So what net neutrality did was it made it so that your internet service provider could not block you from accessing a legal website.
Okay.
So, let's say an ISP doesn't like that so many people are using Netflix. They can't block you from.
Can we get net mutality where we can mute
Shush.
mute the
We
automatic?
can read.
Okay.
Let someone read to us.
So, also throttling, so they can't slow down Netflix.
Oh, I thought it meant throttling like Homer Simpson does the Bart. Why you? Why I on it?
They can't go, okay, too many people are on Netflix right now. We're going to slow down the amount of the speed of the data or whatever from Netflix. They have to treat everybody like they don't know who is using what. And the next one is paid prioritization, which means they can't give some companies faster speeds than
For them
others,
paying more
just
money.
based on how much they're willing to pay.
Hmm.
So, which would benefit big companies like Google or Microsoft and hurt small businesses. And
Aren't those big companies for net neutrality?
Some of them.
Like Google and Apple?
yes, so they have
Weird.
a lobbying group that they are a part of, because what they don't want ISPs controlling your access to Google or
Sorry
Why
for
are
the
you
seizures.
playing with the light?
Sorry, I'm trying to get it to the proper light level, but I keep overshooting.
Sorry, we just had a video.
We have good special effects.
Yeah. If I'd been fast enough, I could have put a mask on. Or
So
something.
one thing I heard someone say is for after they get net neutrality, we should get package delivery net neutrality, where it doesn't matter how big a package you want delivered or where, it should cost the same.
So
That'll get you good
some
service.
things that were surprising to me are, I didn't know that this was only going on for 2 years.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people pushed for it, and I think that
Did we have issues before?
no. Well, there
That's
was
the
a
thing.
close call. Actually, there were some issues with cell phones, where it seems like at one point, I think it was T-Mobile was going to limit people when they at certain points. They're going to ratchet down their speed. Unlimited data, but we're going to ratchet it back. Well, that worked fine until the customer base found out about it,
Left.
and they freaked out and they left because you know why? There was places they could go.
yeah,
There's other companies they could go to because of. What is that noise?
your car alarm's going off.
I think it's your wife yelling at you.
So that's the thing with cell phones, is there's so many carriers and it's not geographically based as much. So you could just sign up with a different service. The problem with ISPs is in a lot of places there's only one.
And a lot of that's because of government intervention.
Well, I think there's two around here, aren't there?
Based on where you live, you can only get one of them.
It depends on where.
I don't know.
you're
I've been
at.
able to switch back and forth before.
Oh, have you?
But it's like, oh, this one's their customer service is garbage. Let's switch to that one. Their customer service is just as horrible.
Yeah.
See, I moved from one place where we used to live,
Right.
and we had to have one because that's the one that was there. And where we live now, we have to have this other one because it's the only one here.
Yeah, I think where I'm
Not
at,
much choice.
I could have either, but when I first moved here, there was only one option.
Mm.
But maybe since then, it's spread, so you could have others. I've actually been looking into just getting Verizon internet for the house. They have a modem that just connects to the 4G.
Oh.
Because
So you're going to abandon the thing that they want to have.
it
the
seems like my
government-controlled-
phone has better internet access than my
Oh, really?
It's
cable
because of
internet.
innovation, because of competition.
But yeah, so that's the thing about doing away with net neutrality, is a lot of the ISPs have said it actually has hindered them from being able to grow and provide new services, provide service to new areas, because they're limited on the types of services they're allowed to offer.
I mean, every other thing that there's
What, you mean if
competition
you
in the
throw
United States.
bureaucracy at something, it doesn't automatically get better?
Well, think about the, like I like to do, Elon Musk's business model, where when he wanted to make an electric car, what did he start with? Did he start with the cheap, no one wants, ugly model?
No, he made an awesome one.
He made an awesome one because he wanted the people that were willing to pay for a premium product to pay for the infrastructure so that everyone else can get the same bump up in quality of vehicle.
Yeah.
Well,
And now
we
he's
let people,
making.
if we charge certain people, people are willing to pay
Dang it.
way more money in order to get way faster service
Right.
to get all the wires run, because that's another thing is we have infrastructure that's got to be built.
Yeah.
If they really want to change it, they should make it so that infrastructure that's built is open for everyone. That would be the true net neutrality, where everyone can use the connection and then let the individual ISPs, if you want a faster one, you get better routers. You upgrade that. But at this point, if everything is controlled the same, why get improvement?
So it's kind of a misnomer.
I think so.
You don't really have neutrality if the government's got their hands in there.
Right, and if people complain a lot about this, or some people are complaining about the government intervention and other things. So it seems the people you don't want to be in charge are the ones you want to give this power to. You're like, why? They're not being given to people who are elected. They're given to FCC people.
Right, that are appointed. The next point in this article, there are other countries that don't have net neutrality, obviously. And one of the worst case scenarios is Portugal. Here they've got a little factoid about it, where you have to basically, you pay for different types of websites. So you would pay like, oh, I have to pay $5 a month to get access to all the social media sites. But if I want to go to like a music streaming site, I have to buy that package. Like,
so like a TV package?
Yeah, like a TV package. So you would get like a base one, and then if you wanted more website access, you would have to pay for that package.
Or Netflix, if you want to have more options, like have 5 computers access it, or so you have a better, where you could get discs of not streaming ones.
Yeah, I guess thinking that way, it's like there's so much of the internet that I don't use. Maybe it would be nice to pay less to have
to just watch Netflix.
Yeah,
at 4K or 8, ultra high def, or whatever.
I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad.
Well, lots of people complain, or they say, well, what will happen is then the ISPs will just be in control of everything. Well, if you look at like the telephones, it used to be that, like when Apple first came out with their Apple iPhone, it was on AT&T only.
Yeah.
And that was because AT&T was the only one that would let Apple have control of their own device. Because everyone else wants to cram all their crapware on there.
Yeah.
Kind of like computers have done before, where you get it and
there's
it'd be fast if
all
it
these
didn't have
programs,
stuff that's bogged down. Their apps or
you
whatever.
have to go and delete all the.
Right, and so they were the only ones that would make the agreement with Apple to not do that and let Apple control their own product.
Interesting.
Now Apple's on everything.
Yeah.
And so, you don't think Netflix, if people start throttling theirs, you don't think they're going to throw some of the weight around, kind of like Apple did?
Well, that's the thing is if this change negatively affects the people's user experience, something's going to happen because people use the internet all the time.
Right.
And you can't have 320 million people disgruntled about their internet nowadays. So, yeah.
So do you think Portugal companies can get away with that because there's...
You tell me Portugal has a freer, less government-controlled society than we have? I wouldn't think that.
I don't know.
I'm just wondering how Portugal can get away with, their companies can get away with doing that when...
I don't know. They say it like it's a bad thing. I don't even know if that's a bad thing. Splitting the net into packages. If you want
well, that's the
right
thing.
now in the United States, it's already that way. If you want the faster speed.
I was thinking there was the base charge you do for internet, but then you have to pay extra for different websites.
Well, this infographics just says they've split the internet into packages. So, like, you have your social media package, you have your video streaming package that you pay a set amount for, and then you have messaging. There's what is that? Oh, email, stuff like that. But if cable was more like that, I would subscribe to it. If I could just get like ESPN, I would pay for that. But you have to pay a ton and get all these channels you're never going to watch.
Right.
So, which is what we're kind of doing with internet right now. But the other thing I think is that if your ISP restricts your access to a site you really want, people will find a way around that. There are ways to proxy websites,
Well, I think one people are concerned about is, let's say Netflix is a huge bundle of the internet right now. That's so much data that because they have that much power, Netflix can then say, I want the faster speed for my customers.
Yeah.
And the small town ISPs, or not ISPs, but websites won't be able to get in on that.
Right. Yeah, that's the main thing they talk about is that big companies will have the best internet speeds, and that's going to hurt small businesses.
So you put the government in charge of it, and all of a sudden the people with the most lobbyist money can control the internet, and not just
right.
control the
What they
speed, but
don't-
control the content possibly.
What they don't think of is that a rising tide raises all boats. You let the big companies put money into the infrastructure, and it's going to help everybody.
So that's one thing that needs to maybe happen is infrastructure needs to be available to all companies.
Right. So how do you think this would affect like our website? Like maybe
It's on YouTube, right?
that's true. I
YouTube
guess.
has a big say in a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's part of Google, and Google has so much power.
We have our EnginerdyShow.com. So
But
it would be interesting if like some people like, oh, you have Comcast, you can't
But it's
access
not like we're gonna
Enginerdy
put-
Show.
I mean, we do have our Engineering Show on our personal website.
Yeah.
And maybe we wouldn't be in the fast lane because we can't afford that. But you don't think companies are going to have packages where you can, hey, join our web service and you'll join our fast lane or whatever.
Yeah, and it'll probably be through our hosting site.
The
So-
hosting site, that's, I mean, the only thing that might affect us maybe be our upload speed based on if we are low priority or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But they want people on the internet.
I know.
They want us to be happy on the internet because it makes us want to be on the internet more. So
Yeah.
they're
Well,
not
the
going to turn
people-
it.
So the people I've seen that are like shoving net neutrality down our throats are coming with all these doomsday scenarios if it doesn't,
Yeah.
if it's not here. That almost reminds me of Y2K. Planes are gonna fall out of the sky. Food's gonna explode on the shelves.
This has only been in
That I
effect
would
for
like
2
to see.
years.
Huh?
This has
Yeah.
only been- and if you look at the development rate, it's kind of, it's like the people want to just be stability. They don't want to
So-
up or down. But
My point is, anytime I hear like apocalyptic type Armageddon is going to be the result of this, it makes me go, wait a minute, there's something.
Yeah.
That's some,
well, that's just the name of it
not
itself is designed to make you think a certain thing.
Yeah. So my last point kind of speaks to that too, is that a couple of the biggest internet service providers have already come out and said, you know, even though this is going away, we're not going to change your experience with the internet. You know, this will only help us develop our infrastructure. We're not going to change it. You know, we're not going to throttle down Netflix or, you know, block your access to YouTube
not
if
gonna be
YouTube
an
doesn't
internet-
pay us enough.
It's not going to be an internet dystopia.
Right.
If there's not opportunities for growth, including in their bottom line, why would new companies even try to be ISPs?
Right.
There's nothing in it for them. It's static.
The ISPs and the people against net neutrality have repeatedly said this is holding back our development. Like we could have the internet could be so much better if
It could be
we
like
weren't
cell phone
shackled
internet.
to the government.
Where everyone now has unlimited plans.
Yeah,
And when we're uploading the podcast, I used my phone to log into Minecraft and actually had a better playing experience because it wasn't laggy.
yeah,
And when I
With no wires.
when I see these things, the people are framing it that it made me so I'm like I have no idea because I don't know if net neutrality is supposed to be good or bad because I'm hearing both two totally different things and I couldn't even figure out what net neutrality actually meant.
yeah.
Like some people are making it sound like, oh, we need net neutrality because that keeps the government out of. But
That's
it's the
totally
opposite.
That's the
opposite.
totally
So
opposite.
that's why
That's
it turned into
that's
confusopoly.
the thing is it's named in such a way that it's confusing.
Yes.
They do that on purpose.
Well, yeah, Scott Adams coined a term for it, confusopoly. If they just make it confusing enough, you won't know which one's better, and so
Right.
And then you'll succumb to the rhetoric.
then you just
Whatever pundit you
marketing.
listen to or
Yes.
whatever side you're on, if you're pro the current administration or pro the previous administration, that's the side you side with because you don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I have a coworker that will just randomly bring it up out of the blue like, yeah, I'm really worried about this net neutrality thing.
That's because they want to want you to feel.
It's like, I'm not worried about it. I think that the internet is such an integral part of everybody's lives that if they change it, everybody's going to throw a fit and they'll have to change it back. So
That's what's happened.
if this
Highest phone companies.
new repealing of, it's not even a repealing, they just let it run out. They set it as a 2-year trial thing, and all they did was not renew it.
And we finally found a regulator that says, I don't want more power, I want less.
Yeah, that was
But people hate
one
this
of these
dude.
one of these articles said that. It was like, it's actually kind of weird that a regulator is
He's like the George Washington regulators.
mount up.
Mount up.
So do you guys feel like you know a lot more about net neutrality now?
I do, thank you.
I think we kind of took the side that we think it should have been repealed.
I was expecting you guys to come out with what I see on Facebook nonstop and from my younger friends.
Don't you know us better than
I
that?
should.
I
should
tried
by
to
now.
be neutral.
I try to be. I didn't know
I
anything,
try to be
and so I just
Well,
ignored it.
I've done enough research now that I am.
Well, this article kind of tries to paint it as a
Evil.
bad thing, but I'm reading, I'm like, oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. So
I don't know. As soon as I heard, who was it that gave that explanation? Oh, this is gonna be, I'm not going to say this is going to be in trouble for. I don't want to be politically one side or the other. But a certain AM talk radio show was the one that brought the idea of package handling neutrality. Do you not pay more if you want bigger packages moved farther away?
Oh,
right.
There's not. I mean, think what would happen if they like stopped and everyone had to pay the same for everything.
Right. You would never ship something
Immediately,
small.
or you would. And what would that do
The
to the
companies
service?
would be
Why would you?
greatly hindered.
Why would you try really hard to set stuff far away quickly if we weren't getting paid anymore for it?
Right.
And
It's
everything in my
interesting.
life, I want the government out of my life as much as I can. Because I'm sorry, I trust businesses more than I trust the government, especially as far as efficiency goes.
Well, if they're making money is by making me happy as a customer, then it's probably a good thing for them to make money.
Because just understand, the government people make money from lobbyists.
Yes.
Lobbyists are people from big companies that have interests in things for the
And they really like hanging out in the entryway of buildings.
That's why I call it that.
That's all right. That's Technerdy.
Thanks, St. Jimmy.
I don't feel as ugly and dirty as I thought I would after that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I'm going to talk sports.
Oh, okay.
In random news.
I am.
That's pretty random.
So,
Hey.
bowl season is upon us for NCAA. There's a lot of lower tier bowls, which have a really difficult time, in that usually the football team that's associated with the stadium that bowl game is in is usually not in that bowl game. Which does what, do you guys think, to
Drives attendance down.
attendance at the game down?
Yeah.
But who has a vested interest in driving or in getting people to watch it not in person?
ESPN.
ESPN. So ESPN is saving the bowl system in a lot of these small bowl games by buying the bowls.
Oh.
Because then they can gear them towards TV.
Mm-hmm.
Then, the people that play in the bowl, their fans, if they can't travel to the game, are going to have an opportunity to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
With national type. In fact, you can even gear it in those TV markets towards the people that live in those markets.
Weird.
So what this doesn't do, however, is it doesn't drive up
Sales.
ticket sales, and the same problem they're having, like let's say the Minnesota Vikings make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
NFL does not want that to happen.
Of course
Right.
not.
Because, and in fact, the city of Minneapolis might not want that to happen.
Because
Because
not
what
bring in
happens-
as many tourists.
What happens when you don't want to go to the Super Bowl? I'll tell you what happens. Hotel rooms are 4-night minimum rental
Wow.
at a jacked up price.
Right.
So now half the people going to the Super Bowl are going to be sleeping in their own beds before they go to
Yeah.
the game.
Assuming they make it.
Now,
Assuming they can afford
It
the
takes the
tickets.
NFL a lot of effort to set up a stadium for the Super Bowl. Security-wise, they put up all kinds of barriers and they set up their own logistics to get the game to work properly.
Okay.
But if Minnesota is in the Super Bowl and in the NFC Championship game, which means they will be in control of the stadium 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, and just give the NFL just 2 weeks to
Yeah.
get the stadium ready.
What they should do is they should hold the Super Bowl in Cleveland every year. They won't have to worry about it.
Well, what a lot of people are conspiring. There you go. Is weird. Maybe that holding call against Anthony Barr when the winning run basically of the Carolina Panthers game was just to try to affect their seeding in the playoffs so they don't have home field advantage
Oh
in the
man.
NFC Championship game. Which I don't believe very much.
Sure, you don't.
But it's tempting. So NFL, fix your refs so it's not tempting for us to believe these conspiracies. So anyway, ESPN is going to try to save some of these bowls, which I think is good for the student athletes.
Yeah.
It's a really small entry fee. You just have to win half your games
Yeah.
to be eligible. You get extra practice that they don't get otherwise. You get to play on a really cool blue field occasionally.
Yeah.
So you play teams you've never played before.
There's a lot of complaining about, there's too many bowl games. Like,
why?
You don't have to watch them. You watch the ones you're interested in.
Which, yeah.
If you like watching just good football games, you know that both teams in the game have winning records, So last winter, I went to the Idaho Potato Bowl, even though neither team in it was my team. I was in town and wanted my son to, experience a college football game
And the tickets are usually cheaper.
that stadium. Yeah, the tickets were cheaper. We got good seats, and when we got tired of watching it, we just left because we didn't care who won.
So as a fan, you've watched lots of bowl games, as have I.
Yeah.
Let's say perhaps your team plays in the Fort Worth Bowl.
Right.
And every other commercial break, at least half the commercials are for some particular Fort Worth credit union.
That you have no access to.
Right. That half the people watching because of their school, which is thousands of miles away,
Yes.
has no access to that credit union.
Right.
Whereas ESPN has control. All of a sudden, they're getting their revenue from, they get really cheap live TV, unscripted TV, you call it.
Content.
Unscripted means no writers or
Yeah.
fewer writers. There's no
Well,
actors
they
to
have
pay.
analysts,
Right.
and camera, they have all that.
They don't have to
but-
write for those guys.
Right. Well, I'm sure they have talking points.
Right. But the way fewer
Seneca
writers.
Wallace. Oh, sorry.
Anyway,
I'm not
a lot of people
bitter
hate
about
ESPN, but stuff like this, I think, like anything else, they're trying to run a business.
Yeah.
They're trying to, and you can't complain that ESPN is. They've done so much in getting more variety of sports access.
Well, something else, even during the season, ESPN3 is great because you can
love it.
watch games that aren't on anywhere that you would never be able to see. Like, I'll just that team's in our conference and they're playing some nobody team from another conference. I'll flip it on and see. And I'm hoping that helps our conference get more ESPN games because they can see more people are watching. But it's kind of cool to turn it on and you don't just have the big SEC games on or something. You can watch a Mountain West game on your computer, through Watch ESPN or something. So I like.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, ESPN.
I wish
say that very
other
often.
companies that have sports stations would make them more accessible.
One thing I love about the NFL right now is I can Monday night and Thursday nights, I get notifications on my phone and I can watch the games live on my phone.
That's awesome.
Do you have to pay for that?
It's
It comes
because of
with
my
this
carrier.
Oh.
Weird.
satellite.
That phone carrier has
'Cause
the
I
ability
was-
to compete with other phone carriers
I was
without
not
free
able-
upgraded packages.
I was not able to watch the Dolphins-Patriots game on Monday.
Oh, I watched part of it.
What
You
is
can
up
come
with,
to your house.
what is
Yeah.
up with Tom Brady? He's like
It's called.
7-9 against the Dolphins in
It's
Miami.
because Cameron Wake and what's his name? How do you say his
Sue.
name? Sue.
Dominican Sue.
Dominican Sue have his number.
But it's 7-9, and then Dominican Sue was a Lion before he was a Dolphin. It wasn't that
Well,
long ago. Even
they
before
had
that,
Jason Taylor, who
That's
also
true.
had Brady's number before that.
but it
They-
just
they
doesn't make
just-
any sense because the
for some
teams have
reason-
changed.
for some
That's
reason-
consistent.
When they play in Miami,
It's Miami
the
Super Bowl.
defensive ends just
It's
play havoc with Brady's timing.
It's his.
And I think
kryptonite.
now that they've actually gotten in his head, it's been a long
Well, and-
streak.
Then there was one guy that intercepted him twice. in that game. I saw that. I
Did
watched
that double
the,
interceptions on the year.
yeah, I saw the
Uh,
highlights of the game. Anyway,
I think that's funny.
yeah. So I've been proudly wearing my Miami Dolphins.
Jay Cutler played better than Tom Brady.
He did. Well, another thing. Okay, so
I
this
don't
is
care
the
about
first time that the Patriots have gone without a third down conversion since 1991.
They didn't
Wow.
convert any third down.
No.
Yeah, they didn't. That was the big headline.
Oh. That was like when the Vikings faced the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons had like 50% conversion rate on third downs in the year.
Yeah.
Vikings held them to 10%. They got one.
Anyway, that's our football talk.
Anyway, and that's the news.
We've been getting tweets from our listener Rob about the Minnesota Vikings games.
Oh,
He
cool.
sent out a couple more tweets recently.
Excellent.
They didn't win that game, but
They had every opportunity and they played like garbage. So, and it was very fluky.
it's fun hearing from
And-
listeners, though.
Usually, you have the players. You'll see them sometimes exchange jerseys after the game.
Oh, really?
But Matt Khalil wanted Anthony Barr's jersey so bad on that really long run play by Cam Newton. He took Anthony Barr's jersey from him.
All right, if you want to help the show out, you should go
Sounds
to
great.
engineerdyshow.com and click through our Amazon link. Oh, I still need to get our UK link up.
What?
I'll get that up.
Oh,
Then
sorry,
our
you
UK
got
listeners can help too. But what they can do in the meantime is go click on the shop button and
My
Pick
T-shirt.
Buy some t-shirts.
an Enginerdy Show t-shirt.
My son's been bugging me for another one.
Nice. All right, our next segment is consumption, where we cough, pretend that we have tuberculosis, and
Yes.
discuss movies we've been watching.
So I watched Valium and the
Valerian.
Thousand. Well,
Valium and the
And the
City
Thousand
of Thousand
Planets.
Aspirin.
Prince Valium.
okay, so it had a lot.
How old is that actor? I couldn't tell.
He's got these huge bags under his eyes.
But he like
So
looks
why?
young. But I don't know. Weird.
No, much worse.
Oh,
Anyway, it has a lot of cool science fiction concepts in it.
I've never
I liked
heard
it.
of this.
It's got a lot of
The big
visual,
mall.
cool stuff going on. I could not stand the main character.
Valerian.
I could not stand the guy.
You didn't like his acting or the actor, or was it the?
I didn't like the character.
He's kind of a jerk. Huh?
I didn't like the girl either.
Huh.
So I had a hard time with the two main characters in the show. But it had some really cool stuff going on.
Like the big shopping mall thing. Or the-
Yeah, where it's in a different dimension, and they've got these devices where you can.
So you look at the down. There's
Pass.
people just wandering around this desert, but for them, they're wandering around this big shopping
Because
center.
they're in. They're avatars in
Another dimension.
another dimension.
Ah, interesting.
Anyway, there's some cool stuff in there.
I really liked it.
Where did
I
you
thought it was
watch
okay.
this?
Amazon Prime is where I watched it. I rented it.
It was on. Somehow I watched it on TV. I don't know why. How?
He just was there.
You were in an alternate reality. You were actually wandering around in your backyard.
I don't know if it's something not DVD, LFG bot or
Oh,
ad or
maybe.
something. I actually don't
What
know. I'll
I
have
think
to ask.
helped me on it is I've heard lots of disappointment from people that were into it before the movie came out. Apparently, it was a graphic novel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of people said that they thought it really inspired a lot of George Lucas. 'Cause it's old enough.
Mm-hmm.
I had no previous experience to that, so I had nothing to go by going in, and I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
that's usually better.
There's certain parts I
There
was
were
like,
parts that were kind of clunky
I
with
feel
too
like I
much
wasn't-
exposition, and I'm like, what?
there's parts
But-
I was feeling like disconnected from it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Like the action scenes in like a Star Wars movie, you feel like you're right in it.
Right.
This felt a little bit disconnected in some of it, but not as much as like a Transformers where you can't see what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Or this podcast.
There were some inexplicable parts. They're just like, what? They're
Simply
continuity errors.
inexplicable.
For some reason, so there's this group of robots. For some reason, they cannot be harmed by anyone except Valerian. Something with his gun or something. He's able to like headshot all these robots While meanwhile, these guys with machine gun type things are shooting
were
them,
only
and nothing's
aiming.
happening. And they only can only die by him apparently.
Well,
He's that
So
awesome.
that part just like kind of I don't know, I thought that was strange, but overall I thought the movie was okay. It had some cool science fiction stuff in there, and I like that.
They had
That's-
Ethan Hawke in it.
It had who?
Ethan Hawke was in it.
What character was he?
Hawkman.
He was the guy that owned that place where he tried to get the shapeshifter.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. What she was, Rihanna?
Rihanna.
I'm not real familiar with her stuff, so.
Seems like there's a lot of things you're not real familiar with.
Old much?
What are you talking about?
Indomitian Sue.
Okay, I can't remember his name was pronounced Sa or Sue.
That
Boy named Sue.
Vietnamese noodle place. Pho.
Sa?
What?
Anyway,
Pho.
What the?
There's lots of pho places around here.
so, okay.
Some people think
The
it's
Pho House?
pronounced faux.
I mentioned this
don't know.
earlier, but I was
If I'm
able
right
to
here,
see Jumanji a couple weeks early.
Right.
And it was awesome!
I can't wait to see it.
You gotta see it.
It
It's
was
so
too
good.
awesome.
It's got The Rock in it, so it's gonna be awesome.
The Rock, Kevin Hart,
Jack
Black, Karen Gillan, and
Oh, that's
Reese-
Karen Gillan?
Reese Darby.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's the Flight of the Conchords manager.
Oh, okay.
And he was in that episode of X-Files that was the awesome
Right,
one
he was good in that.
for that 6-episode stint. Anyway, Jack Black plays a teenage girl really well.
Not surprised.
Oh, I could see that.
And I was really impressed by The Rock's acting.
He's kind of good at acting.
He is a very good actor.
I agree.
And funny. Now, granted, about half of the funny lines that Kevin Hart says are in the preview, but he has a lot of funny
I don't
stuff
remember the
going
preview, so
on. Okay.
barely.
Good. And it does tie into the original one, so that was nice. And it's got one of the Jonas Brothers in it. I had to be.
What's the Jonas Brother?
See, I had the same response, and my wife educated me that there's this boy group called the Jonas Brothers.
I've heard of them.
Are they
And-
actors?
No, they're
They're
Musicians.
singers.
Is that
And-
Bob? No, it's Hanson.
She pointed out, we were flipping through the channels, there was a music video on. She said, hey, that's him. That's one of the Jonas Brothers. I'm like, what? And it was the guy from the movie.
they sing "Burnin' Up," "Love Bug," and "SOS."
Never heard of any of
I
those
don't know what those
songs.
are.
What year?
2008?
Ocho.
Wow.
Oh. I was firmly in my country music phase at that point, so...
Oh, I didn't know you were looking at me. I was
Yes, I
doing
was.
that for the camera.
Anyway, Jumanji is awesome.
Okay.
And
When's it gonna be out on Redbox?
I don't
When
know,
can I
it's
see it in
supposed to hit
theater?
theaters the 20th,
Okay.
That's close.
so this coming week.
Might be
I
a
might see it again.
holiday break
Maybe we'll
movie.
go on a double date. Me plus y'all two.
A double date, the three of us.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to do that to my wife. Yeah, D. Vitty wanted to go to a movie as a double date, so Leo and I are gonna, or Mr. Fold and I are gonna go watch Jumanji with him.
I pulled that from a
You
Will
should
Smith
take
song.
your wives. It's good. They'll like it. My
Okay.
wife really liked it.
My wife likes The Rock.
So Karen Gillan is my favorite actor from Doctor Who.
Yeah, me too.
You haven't got to her yet, but when you do, awesome.
I want
She
her to
look
be
like-
my companion.
She also plays Nebula in Guardians of the
What?
Galaxy.
To like Rose.
I don't like Rose.
You don't have to.
I like Rose, but not as much as I like Amy Pond.
Yes, Amy Pond is
It's
the
like
bomb.
every show has a Rose.
When you get to Amy Pond and Clara, you're gonna like Rose.
Yeah,
I doubt that.
that's kind of how I was. I was like missing Rose, and then
And then, like,
Amy
oh,
showed
I'm not
up.
missing her
I
anymore.
was like,
I mean, you go through Martha and Donna, and you're like, eh.
Donna's annoying.
I think she's supposed
My
to
wife
be.
doesn't like Donna at all.
I'm not a big fan.
I did decide to turn on the closed captioning so I can understand what the heck she's saying. Of course, I had to do that for Rose too, so
Right.
I've watched
not for
enough
Martha so much.
modern British shows that I can usually get it now. But yeah, when I first started watching some of them, I'd have to turn on the closed caption. I was like, what are they saying? If I could understand what the words are saying, I can put together the slang.
The
That's no problem.
context, yeah.
Why don't they speak normal?
That's what bugs me about
Like
like
us.
actors, that you find out are like Australian or British. They're like, why? They obviously have shown they can speak proper English.
Right. Or Southerners.
Why don't they do it all the time?
Oh, goodness.
I think they. Well, this was my experience with Southern U.S. people. They don't realize how thick their accent is until they hear themselves.
Remember that lady at Dairy Queen in Georgia?
Was that Dairy Queen?
I think it was Dairy Queen. They asked if we wanted a straw. We look at each other like, sure.
Just nod and smile.
Two.
Oh, she asked if we wanted a straw. That was the one that was under construction while we were. They had the restaurant open while we were working on the interior of the building.
I don't remember that.
Weird.
I thought it was just like
Strange.
I have a
ramshackled
I have a coworker from Minnesota,
Minnesota.
and sometimes I have to think about what he said to figure out because he pronounces his vowels weird.
His duels.
His vowels.
Weird.
All right. I watched another movie that I thought was really good called Passengers.
It was mostly about just people
It's
riding
got-
in taxis.
Katniss,
Everdeen.
what's Jennifer
Aniston.
Lopez. Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
My wife does not like that woman.
Why?
She
Then
thinks
don't
she
have
doesn't
her-
act. She's like,
Oh.
she makes no expression different on her face. It's the same
Her
expression.
face doesn't move.
The same voice.
Oh, and she was Mystique in the newer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, it also has
That's
Chris
bad.
Pratt.
Oh, I love this movie.
I thought the
This is a
movie was
great movie.
awesome. It was very dramatic.
I couldn't remember what. Now, yeah, that's
There
awesome.
was some hard choices
Yeah,
that the main character made, and
it's rough.
Like, do you sit in the front seat of the taxi, or is that weird?
It's a space movie.
it's got a lot of cool science
Okay.
fiction stuff in it.
I would like to see it. I just
It's
haven't
good.
got around to it.
It's
pretty
about. We rented it through Netflix.
Celluloid?
Oh,
The
you got the
DVD
disc.
thing, the disc thing through
You
Netflix.
didn't river it.
No.
That's when you stream
Creep.
something on Amazon.
Oh,
No, we got the Netflix DVD option, so we're getting movies. That's
Oh.
how I watched the Resident Evil one
that's how I got upset about
and the
Firefly.
Assassin's Creed. Oh, yeah.
Where's the next?
Where's the
disc?
next disc?
Oh boy.
There's not one.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was cool.
good.
I've,
Watched some good
I've
movies.
heard that people didn't like the ending, but I didn't get that.
No, it's fine.
I thought the ending was fine. I didn't see a problem with it.
They want to magically survive to the end
They
of
don't
the
like
journey.
the end of our show either.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was good. I
Good.
like that one. I like the spaceship.
I will check it out then.
The basic premise, and it's just super basic, but it's a ship that has
Generation
passengers and no,
Oh, no, that's right.
hibernation type ship.
Oh,
It takes
okay.
an amount of time to get to a new planet. to
Hundreds of
colonize.
years, I think.
Yeah, but they do it with having the people in suspended animation.
Right.
A generation ship is where people would be
Oh, that's true.
moving around and having kids, and they die, and their kids keep going. And
Yeah. Their purpose is to have kids.
yes, during the journey.
Right.
For this one, yeah, and then one of the people wakes up early.
That's what Star
I
Trek
wasn't gonna go that
Generations
far,
was
but I'm just
about.
kidding. No, it wasn't.
Oh.
And that must be it, because that's all I have on there.
Okay. I finished the second season of Stranger Things. It was awesome.
Good job.
I highly recommend that show. Kids are
Could you tell?
hilarious.
Could you tell when was it Mike when his character was going in for a kiss at the end? Did you notice that he whispered or said something under his breath?
No.
Because apparently not even the directors and producers knew this. He said, "I'm coming in," but he did it with like not moving his lips.
Oh.
I can see it just a little bit.
It's good. It's about these creatures from the underneath. It's like a parallel reality that's bad, and they cross over, and these kids have to save the day. It's really good. I liked this season had a character named Samwise Gamgee, and he was good. At first, I was
Sean
like,
Austin.
yeah, I
Austin?
wasn't
Did you think it
sure.
was a red herring at first?
At first, I thought maybe he was going to be a bad guy because he was too nice, but
He did make
a major mistake.
a poor choice near the end.
yes, you're like,
Well, not just at the end. He also sent the main character
I don't know,
down
yeah.
a bad
Well, he
path.
didn't
yeah, I don't know if I
That
want to
was not on
spoil it too
purpose.
much, but you're like, don't just stand there. Oh.
That happens all the time in movies.
I
People
know.
just like freeze. This happens in real life too, I'm sure. People just freeze in tense situations.
Not me.
I'm cool.
I become an android.
Sometimes you freeze in tense situations
warmer.
because you shouldn't be camping in the winter.
Okay, I'll take that back. There was an instance where, when my son was really young and he started having a seizure, and I could not figure out how to use the phone.
Mm.
I was trying to dial 911, and I can't do it. I don't know what to do. I
You
cannot
do
figure
it.
out how to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're the one that needs it.
But there's been other times where it's been like a life or death situation, and I've been able to be completely calm and cool and do what's needed to be done to rescue. So
Cool.
anyway, I don't know where that came from.
Human brains are weird.
We got the expansion set for the Harry Potter Hogwarts battle game for Christmas.
Oh, the monster box or
The
something?
For Christmas last year?
No.
Then how are you playing it?
It neglected to get wrapped, so eventually we just opened it and started playing it.
I know, I
But
played it with you. It's fun.
We've it comes with 4 new levels,
Oh,
and they're pretty hard. We've beaten 3 of them now, so
wow.
it's fun. There's whole new aspects to the game that it
Whole
introduces.
new aspect.
Like you can get detention cards that go in your hand.
I was explaining to LFG what those were. He looked horrified.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, when you get done, you have to sort them out. You're like, I had 8 detention cards. Anyways, there's encounters, there's creatures. So we had Patronuses in the last level.
Wow.
They're not
Fun.
that great, but
Oh.
it takes the place of your
What did you expect of?
proficiency card.
Oh, okay.
But some of the proficiency cards are way better, I thought. But
Hmm.
each hero has their own Patronus, so it's really fun. Looking forward to opening box 4. And expecting that when we're having holiday time, that we're going to be playing a lot of Harry Potter at my house. So you guys should come over.
I have the whole week off between Christmas and New Year's, but my wife does not. So I will be looking for things to entertain myself.
I'll be out of town.
We should get together.
Yes.
We were actually thinking, because the expansion
Let's
doesn't
get
give you
together.
everything you need.
Yeah.
You can still only play 4 players.
Uh-huh.
But if you just had another board and heart, you could easily play 5 players.
I have some I made.
The problem is that the more characters you have, the harder
It's more
it is.
difficult to
Yes.
So, but it's fun. You get to play as Luna Lovegood. She's got some interesting cards,
Oh, okay.
like a lion's hat, and
Is she from Detroit?
some other stuff. Yeah, she is. Yeah,
She's
so that's
like
what we've been
RoboCop.
doing.
She's like RoboCop.
No. Eminem.
Sure.
All blondes.
Is RoboCop a blonde?
Well, with chrome.
Oh, okay.
Silver
And they all
bullet.
rap. Oh, maybe not.
Well, yeah, probably around Christmas time.
And they're all mostly mechanical.
All right.
I don't know. I thought I would get in on it.
Good idea.
They'll have peanuts in them? Talk about
I
Eminem.
like the peanut butter.
Oh, have you had the caramel M&Ms?
No.
I don't
So
like 'em.
Even he
good.
doesn't like caramel.
They're so good.
I love caramel. That's why I'm
Oh.
disappointed.
It's like a Rolo.
Oh, I don't
almost.
really like Rolos.
Oh,
Maybe
it's
the one I
my
had was
favorite.
bad. Mine was not Rolo-ish.
They're too good for you.
Okay.
They're above you.
Peanut butter ones are good.
They are
Those
good.
are the almond ones.
I like
peanuts.
peanut ones.
Peanut
actually.
really good.
ones are my second favorite.
I think peanut ones are my
Resistance
favorite,
consumption, so we can talk about food.
and peanut butter ones are probably the second. Do they have the almond ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
They
I
come
might
in like
like
the
almond ones. Then. I
brown
haven't
or
tried
like
them.
a great no.
I
color is
actually
that?
ate coffee ones once.
Ew.
Ugh, I
It's
do
like this
not
color.
coffee flavored things.
Hmm.
Like the waitress at a restaurant suggested tiramisu to us for dessert,
I don't know what that is.
and we didn't know that it's coffee flavored.
Yuck.
So we were like, she came back, how do you like it? Because she knew we hadn't had it before. Like, we don't really like it. We didn't know it
Did
would
she
taste
make you
like coffee.
Pay for it?
No, she didn't.
Oh,
That's
that's nice.
And she brought us a different dessert. So
This would taste like an ashtray. Oh.
I
Anyway.
didn't know it would taste like cigarettes.
What do you got for us, DVD?
Tobacco Masu. My wife and I watched a movie we were both waiting to see since we saw the trailer. We're both cracking up the trailer. Assassin's Bodyguard. As
Oh,
Samuel
I
L.
think I've heard
Jackson
of that.
and Deadpool. What's his name?
Ryan
Ryan Reynolds. And those two have such chemistry on the screen together. It is ridiculous.
I think I do remember seeing
It was
that trailer and laughing.
Very funny. I think in the trailer it shows them hit something with the car. Ryan Reynolds goes flying through the windshield, does a roll, and stands up. And Samuel Jackson's like, "Why'd you get out of the car?" Anyway, it's very good. It's funny. I liked it a lot. I recommend it. Go see it.
Okay.
There it goes.
And we paid way too much for it because we got it on Redbox, and then we didn't watch it for 2 days. We finally watched it. I'm like, why are we doing this instead of just renting it on Amazon?
Yeah.
Which I rented a movie last time on Amazon. I watched Valerian
You rivered it.
Oh, you
I
watched
remembered
that
it.
recently?
last
too?
night.
Oh.
From 8 to 10 ish.
I really got to find out why I watched that movie.
Yeah, you do. And then I watched this TV show I can't remember the name of. I'm not going to look it up because it's not good. Something about UFOs, best evidence.
And it was not the best
It's-
evidence.
Well, it's
Did it have that guy with the crazy hair?
no, it was what do they call the person that narrated by Jonathan Frakes? That was the only good
Oh.
part about it.
Oh.
But whoever wrote it was intermixing UFOs and alien spacecraft. And we saw a UFO this morning.
I didn't see
I
it.
don't think it was an alien spacecraft.
You just didn't know what it was.
We didn't know what it was. There was this kind of bright light in the fog that like started down by the trees and then shot up in the air.
Maybe it was a drone.
Probably could have been, I don't know, but my friend and I both saw it. We're like, that's a UFO. That's not an alien spacecraft. I'm not going to claim that it is. That'd be stupid.
If you're saying it's an alien spacecraft, then it's no longer a UFO. Because you just identified it.
Oh, you just blew it wide open.
One of them actually did debunk a couple.
Oh, really?
Like one of them, they had a guy
Like
that said,
Roswell?
huh? No, not the Roswell one. There's one that the guy's like, if you look, you can see smoke, and you can tell the scale of it by how the smoke moves. So that's interesting.
It's called. What the heck? How
The
do I get
best
that to go
evidence
away?
ever caught on tape.
Is
This
that what it was?
UFO is the best evidence ever caught.
Yeah,
on tape.
that was it. It was horrible. Don't watch it.
The
1997.
worst evidence ever
Don't.
caught on tape.
Watch it.
Expanded and updated director's cut. It got 5.5 on IMDb.
Out of 100.
Is that
Just
more
kidding.
than? Is that more than Silver Bullet got?
I don't know, but this is stupid. Don't watch it. All right. Then what was the other thing out of there? Oh yeah, Happy Cast.
Oh yeah, they have a
Oh,
new
they-
episode.
I listened to the Happy Cast.
I
I did
haven't
too.
listened to it
Well-
yet, but I have it on my phone.
I don't know if they're back, but they recorded them playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, I think they
Or
recorded
D&D,
much
B&B.
longer, and they played a half an hour of it. So there
Yes,
should be
they're
more.
going to split into episodes. I had kind of a Facebook conversation with Ben and Brian about it
Oh, okay.
because they were talking about doing it over. Oh, I said, "Oh, can you play Dungeons and Dragons over Skype?" Like, you can probably if everyone has their own dice. I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Your son probably has dice.
He does. I bought them for him. They're family
You know, we
dice.
started making a character for me, and it never went anywhere.
Hmm.
And then I find out my daughter was over here and made a character with your son.
We should turn that into a
Without
special.
permission?
I shouldn't
We
have
should
had
turn that into a
permission. She's
special
an adult.
episode. We make characters and play. We
We
wanted
could-
to play for a long time.
Yeah, we could do it outside of a normal episode.
I don't want to
then
do it
cut it up.
outside. It's kind of cold out there.
Season finale maybe this
We
winter.
could make it intense.
We have a
Ooh,
space heater.
special Dungeon and Dragon tent.
Looks like a dungeon or an inn.
Looks like
They
a
always start
dragon.
in an inn, right? Or a bar. So you got to make it look like that. That's quite often all the characters meet at a bar where they get some.
And then when you're done, you drag in the tents.
We're done, Jin. Let's
Anyway,
drag
that's-
in the tents.
That's what. Oh, that's the one. I also watched a lot of Dr. Jordan Peterson. He's a psychologist.
Oh.
You're sick.
Mentally, maybe. He has a new book coming out that I really want. There's like 12 ways to improve yourself or something.
Train a dragon.
Number one is stand and sit with good posture.
And train a dragon.
Yeah, I know. I
I've
do
been
that
trying
whenever I
to.
think about it.
I've been trying to walk with better posture.
I walk with pretty good posture.
I
A lot of times you can tell if you have good posture if you just naturally stand up. If your hands are like this, and listen to your body.
I do a lot of posturing.
If you see someone with their hands like this,
Is there a zombie?
no, but next to them on their sides, that usually means they're sloping their shoulders. You can tell kind of by the way you're. Anyway, it's good psychologically to stand
I've
with a
seen a
good
guy
posture.
that's head is level with the middle of his back.
That's fake.
I think I've seen that
Weird.
He looks like
guy.
Igor.
Igor. Wasn't your hump on the other side? Not a hump.
One hump or two.
After we're done with Stephen King, we should do what's his name?
Chevy Chase.
Well, that'd be good.
Oh, Mel Brooks.
Mel
Mel
Brooks.
Brooks. That would be fun.
That'd be funny.
Those would get
Well,
rated
sorry.
a lot higher than
I think so.
Graveyard Shift.
All right, and that's consumption.
All right.
Okay, our next segment is Nerd Cred, where we air the laundry of our nerdiness.
You guys don't have any apparently.
I didn't put
Uh,
anything down.
I don't know. Opening a gift so you can play a board game before Christmas. That was pretty nerdy.
well, we already knew what it was because we bought it for ourselves.
So I don't know if that compares to my nerdiness, but it also relates to Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. I played Year 7 by myself and won.
Were you
By
just playing
yourself.
as one character?
Yes, I was
Well, no
wrong.
wonder
That's
you won.
cheating.
How's that cheating?
You have
It took 2.5 hours.
Okay, you suffered. I guess.
I got
it's
to the
not
second event.
something. Okay.
It was nice to have every single one of the Horcruxes though towards the end.
yeah.
Because anytime it got bad, I could just discard 2 cards and get rid of a location.
Yeah.
I got Dumbledore really early in the game.
Oh,
which is
that
very
helps.
helpful and awesome.
I always get him like right at the end. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna even get to play him.
It was good. I probably didn't get any more cards, buy any more cards than I normally do in a game. Because I got card locked, kind of.
I've been thinking of cards that I want. Like, I was really disappointed when I got to Year 7 and there was no Aberforth card.
Oh.
But it's cool how the cards, like people that are related, what they give you is similar. Like all the Weasleys give you a galleon at least, and then
Right.
the Malfoys do the similar type of thing. And when you get the expansion, like Peter Pettigrew and Scabbers have similar things they do. It's cool.
So I recommend that game.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'll be playing it at Christmas with my best friend and his wife, probably. So I mentioned it on Facebook. I think I put a picture of me actually after I beat the game by myself.
Oh,
No one's commented on the weirdness of the way my dog is in the picture. Looks like he's sitting at the table, but he's a dachshund, so he's only this tall. It's because my son is holding him
oh.
and putting him out, so it's just his head is in the picture, like the same level as mine.
So.
Paths between.
So my nerd cred is I made a spreadsheet. So I've had a spreadsheet where I track my leave.
Right, I
Yeah,
have a copy of it that
I
I
gave a
modified
copy
slightly.
of you, yeah.
I think I have the same one.
Did you make that originally?
No, I got it for someone else and
I was gonna
modified it.
Because I've seen other versions that have morphed, so it's like when
Yeah.
aliens, it's like when Vulcans and Romulans come back together.
Well, I made one for my wife.
Oh,
She gets paid twice a month instead of every other week.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I had
Oh.
to change it up a little bit. So I have it. I don't know. It's crazy.
24 paychecks to 26.
I prefer
So
fortnightly.
anyway, I had fun making that.
Cool.
You have any more? I have
I have
no
no
one.
more.
So I've been into Minecraft recently.
Really?
Again, I go in waves. But
You
I
play in the ocean.
yeah, I'm actually recreating with a better plan my cat's lair, Thundercats.
Oh.
And then at work recently, at lunchtime, I've been working on a way more complicated plan for the Castle Plundar, which is the bad guys in Thundercats. It's very complicated. It's like got bat wings and weird, crazy tower that's not. That's I don't know. You kind of look at the cat's lair. Everything is nice, straight lines and symmetrical. Castle Plundar is not like that. So you might say there's a psychology to the symbolism. Bad guys are chaotic and good guys are orderly.
Weird.
Sometimes.
And then I'll probably eventually also build Mumra's pyramid again.
The ever living.
Exactly. So I've got some cool plans for that. Eventually I'm going to try to get my youngest son to help produce some Enginerdy Show type stuff.
Yeah, for our
But
YouTube
some
channel.
Minecraft videos.
That would be awesome.
Or showing off some of my building stuff.
Those are popular online.
Maybe some building of just me just building and doing my thing.
That'd be cool.
And I don't know if I can figure out how to get
narrate
it so I can also show people me AutoCADing,
That would be cool.
how to make my plans, and how to divide them into levels so you can.
Do you have AutoCAD here at home?
I have one on my other computer.
Oh, okay.
Because we had students in the family, so
Oh,
a student version. So I can't use it for
Oh my.
making production plans.
Right.
But for my personal use, it's fine.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well, no feedback this week, but if you
Oh.
want to contact us, send an email to engineerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just look for Engineerdy Show.
Send us feedback and you'll be featured on our show.
Yeah.
Do we count when I have conversations with our fans or friends on Facebook?
No.
Oh, okay.
Only if they post something on our Engineerdy Show page,
Oh,
because that's what I look at. I don't look at your page.
obviously you didn't see that picture.
I don't
saw
tell you when I
that.
look at your page. Just kidding.
Your page is showing.
Oh no.
All right, support the show by going to engineerdyshow.com and clicking through the Amazon link. And whatever you
can-
buy during that session supports the show and doesn't cost you any extra.
And did you say they could listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher?
No, but I
But you
think you
can.
know that.
Oh, okay.
And
I
our
figured
website.
if they're listening to us,
Then they already figured out a way to
And
listen to
YouTube.
us.
if they got this far in, like maybe if I
Well,
s-
maybe they listen on Stitcher and didn't know you. They could go to iTunes.
If you listen on YouTube, find
Or
that
vice
little
versa.
thumbs up in the bottom and click on it. And click on
Do people
subscribe.
ever leave reviews on iTunes for us? Is there a way for us to
No.
see those?
Yeah, I get an email every month that
Oh.
says no new reviews.
Review us on iTunes.
Yeah.
Leave comments
Do
on
it.
our Facebook or on YouTube for us.
Oh.
Click on the subscribe button. Click
I
on
would
the thumbs up.
Probably get a notification if somebody did that.
Let's find out.
Maybe I'll start hanging out on our YouTube channel. and
Let's see
post
how
some
many we
comments.
can get.
Okay, so this week, post a comment on our Facebook or on our
YouTube.
YouTube video for episode 252.
Make fun of how we're dressed.
What's so funny about how we're dressed?
I'm dressed kind of like St. Jimmy this week. I have a button-up shirt. So
And I've got a
t-shirt.
band T-shirt on
That's like
Weird.
typical.
lately.
I'm not sure, still not sure why it's banned.
It's not allowed in
Doesn't-
certain counties.
Well, it has skulls on it. My wife doesn't like skulls.
Well, she didn't see me when I came in.
Oh, that's probably good.
Yeah, she would have kicked
I'll-
you out.
Zip
Do you
my
remember
coat
that
up
scene
on the
with
way
the
out.
werewolf and the bat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's presents downstairs for you.
Ooh.
I'm present right here.
Okay.
Thank you for listening this week. Stay nerdy.
Live long and nerdy.
I made lemonade in my pants.
Not again.
This time for sure.
Yeah, but always shall be my friends. I could not do it.